Alright, this is going to be my first real customization video. So what my kind of goal here is I'm going to try and make the best combo out of each generation of parts I have. Obviously this means that Wizard won't be stuck in a stock combo by consequence of the rules of this, but just as I'm going to take each generation of Beyblade I have, like the dual layer, which is generation 1 technically, and generation 0 for single layer, and like all my god layers, and so on, and try and make the best of each and compare them. So right here I have all my single layer bays and all the parts you'll have access to. So what made me think of this video was the really interesting results that ended up happening where somehow ODAX managed to score the most points, and it was mostly because it beat all the other single layers. And managed to beat, I can't even, no, it didn't beat Valkyrie. So we're going to try and make the best combo with what we have here. So what I think was great about ODAX in that, my kind of hypothesis that made it great, was that it had just enough stamina and attack power, because it has these nice contact points and its overall oval shape, which while it looks round, makes a lot more contact than it initially seems, than if we had a round Beyblade here. It makes almost the entire shape of the Beyblade a contact point. But it's still technically round, so it's getting a bit more stamina than it normally should have. And now, while I think the impact driver right here is decent, and it did its job well, I think the fusion driver achieves more what we're looking for. Because I want it to still have some stamina, but capable of attack power if it really needs that. Now, what we're left over here is with Force, Central, and Spread are our remaining parts in this little bin here. And if I'm being honest, Force is probably the heaviest I have out of these, and it's probably the best for what we're going for with this combo. So we're going to make that. Now I also want to compare bursters, because sometimes the spring does, sometimes the driver does play into some. Okay, I'm going to say it's basically equal for those two. So that is our single layer combo. I'm going to just throw all these off to the side here. So that's what we're going for single layer. So once again, we're only using parts from these dual layer bays, for example. And technically, these are from Rock Devore R2, so that's why they're not, I didn't count them in that base set, even though Horasuit was a single layer. So now let's take our dual layer stuff into account. So already, last time we were kind of impressed with what Valkyrie was able to accomplish, or Valtryek, in terms of the dual layers. But I'm not really in favor of Valkyrie as a Beyblade as a whole. So what we're really only left here is what do we want to accomplish? So first of all, Longinus is already probably the best core Beyblade out of it because it has metal on the layer, it has huge contact points, and it's left spinning. But it's really hard to control, and it has some general flaws with how it is as a Beyblade. So what my kind of solution to this is I'm going to take gravity to add a weight to this. And initially I was thinking maybe weight, but then that makes it so it doesn't have as much movement, and it's a bit too focused on metal for the sake of the build. And if we're going to make an attack type, which is what we're working with for most of this combo, probably going to take the Unite driver, which granted is a little bit cheating because it's not what it's supposed to be as a driver, but because I have technically modified it some. But this is the best we're going to get out of this, and it's the best. It's the only one we can really control out of this setup, without completely bending the rules on what we're allowed to do here. And gravity is obviously the heaviest here. If you don't know, it's named gravity, it's going to be heavy. And while weight would add weight to it, obviously, like I said, weight right here would add weight to it. It would make it it would make it more of a defense type or a balance type, and we don't really want that in this combo. So far we have ODAX Force Fusion, and we have Lost Longinus Gravity Unite. For our God layers, we have a really interesting thing going on here. And that is, technically two of these are off-brands and are really unpredictable by consequence of that. We have a really solid defense type going on here, but it's not really the most versatile and probably isn't... For what these parts are, we have a lot of versatility available here, especially with I'm going to guarantee you already we're going to use this driver. I'm not even going to pretend we're not using this. And while Requiem's pretty good and it's pretty well rounded for what it's achieving, I feel this has the most offensive power and defensive power if we're talking just very literal with what it is. So I'm going to take the Legend layer. Normally I would say Requiem would be better because it has the rubber, but this is an off-brand, so that's why I'm saying we're kind of limited there. And their teeth are basically the same for these two as off-brands. I'm looking at it personally myself, though. Let's see. You can't really see it on the camera. The other thing is we're probably going to take 8 being the heaviest of what we have here as a disc. Let me take a look and compare it to. I can only really handle it because I don't have a scale. All right, because 6 is actually a real driver, unlike the other one, it actually is slightly heavier, I just realized. It's a legitimate driver, so it's not. So we're going to be taking 6. And now the last thing we're left with is, do we want... which frame are we going to take from these? So this will give us a bit more attack power, and it's a bit heavier, I would say, than Glaive. I don't remember what this is called. What is this? Is it just called attack or something like that? It might be. So we're getting a bit more weight here and a bit more attack power, so I think we're going to take that. But this does align bit in terms of weighting and distribution with what we're dealing with here. And this is a balance type combo, basically guaranteed. So I might take Glaive for that reason. Yeah, that would kind of build towards what we're going for. And we have a lot of versatility in this combo. We can switch directions. We can... and we can switch which driver we're using, which is basically attack and defense for this case, because it's off-brand, so they didn't really make it right. All right. That is... So we have our God Layer combo. And to be a bit more fair to Wizard, because it has no other parts to go with, I'm going to allow it to do one thing that would make it at least different from a stock combo. I'm going to take out the Jolt driver and swap it for Reboot, because I feel that would better add to this combo what it's going for. All right, so these are our 4 competitors. Basically, Wizard's going to win. We all know that because it's 2 generations ahead of everything else. But hey, I'm going to be... Let's just hope that Odax can prove its worth as a Beyblade. All right, so we have a lot of less spinning going on here. All right, let's start from the lowest rung. We're going to start with Odax versus Lunior. Longinus. Whatever. Odax. Make the single layers proud. Hey, there's that movement I was trying to talk about in the tutorial video. Well, it's already knocked out. Oh, we're doing standard system, by the way. 4 points. Because I've already spent a bit of this video talking about which combos we're using. 8 minutes to be sure. And this does have a bit more stamina, so it's going to be the one going first. So it was knocked out, so it's 1 point in favor of... I need to use the right side of the launcher. It did stumble out there, but it wasn't a real... Okay. That is pretty definitive, though, that strike there. Though it did actually nearly burst there. So who knows? Maybe Odax can come back with this last round and pull out a win. Because it didn't take much damage itself, but it did damage Lunior some. And Lunior... Longinus does have a bit of a disadvantage with having a Hasbro driver on a Takeratomi combo, which weakens it some, instead of the reverse, where you have a Takeratomi driver on a Hasbro driver, on a Hasbro Beyblade. It tends to weaken it some. Or it strengthens it, if you're... Okay. Hasbro on Takeratomi, it weakens. Takeratomi on Hasbro, it strengthens. Easy way to explain it. But I bet most people watching this know this. And that's... Yeah, that's... Alright, take that win. Take that win, dual layer. We all knew we were going to win anyway. Now let's move up dual layer versus God layer. These are both less swings, so I don't really have to worry about it. Let's go defense. If I can land the damn Beyblade and it doesn't bounce around the goddamn stadium. And here, take this. Take this. Take this for Odax. And they were both knocked out there simultaneously. Alright, that seems like a burst finish, but they were knocked out simultaneously there for a bit, so that does not actually count. For either of them. That is a tie in actuality. Though there might have been... I really need to closely pay attention to what happens in what order. Alright, that was a bit of a mediocre launch, but hey. That was a simultaneous burst. I'm not going to count... If a Beyblade flies out on its own, I'm going to be like... I'll let it slide because it's just being really fast. In a normal stadium, it would have been a bit more decisive and hit a wall. But because of this design of this stadium in particular, it can kind of bounce out weird. But if it's knocked into a pocket, that's certain. There's no way that's not there. So now that we're to kind of mess with the tie sum, I'm going to let Legend switch out which direction it's going. And okay. And let's... Alright. And now it's right spinning, so it's going to go first, hit the wall some, but otherwise... And that's the ball driver. I didn't switch that out. And that is a pretty solid hit. I'll let the rest of us play out, even though that is basically a guaranteed win for Lunar. And that's a double. Yeah, so this is definitely a win for Lunar if we're talking about knockouts. Even if it would have won in a stamina battle. It being Legend. Spriten. And I'm not saying that wrong, I'm saying because it's a knockoff, so I'm saying it weird. You didn't understand that context. So. Oh, okay, that re-puts it back into the favor of Legend, managing to get that burst finish. So now it's actually in the lead some. That's the front part. And, alright, so it managed to burst it. So I'm thinking what the next reasonable strategy would be, if we're spinning right instead of left and we're not trying to outlast them, we would switch to offense. Or we should switch to offense, not we would. But we are spinning opposite direction, so it might be better to play defensive. So let's actually switch back to left if we're going for raw attack power, because we're heading the same direction. So that will be a bit better for attack. And it's easier for me to launch also. So, really using that gimmick there. The dual spin gimmick. And, okay, that's complete. Let's have you go first because you won that last time. But also managed to jump out of my launcher. It's also a bit heavier, so it's a bit more stamina. It's pure plastic instead of rubber. Oh, that was a win on the part of Longinus, though. Because it did knock it out for that brief bit before it returned. And, alright. Since Lunar won, I guess it's going to go first because they're pretty close in stamina, I would say. And these nodes. Or if I faulty launch it, it has less stamina, I guess. Okay. God damn it, Legend! Stop falling out. Alright, that was a fault launch still. God, you cannot just get in the stadium. Okay, you're going first because I need to make sure you land in the stadium. Instead of causing me to reset, like, do 2 launches for each failed launch. And that was a failed launch, goddamn Lunar. Yeah, that's like I said, it was a failed launch on Lunar because it only had one of the things in. God damn it. This one matchup is dragging out a ton. Because of a damn... Okay, I'm going to switch the launchers to the dual threat, kind of dual threat, the dual issue, I guess is what I'll call this. Because it's once again knockoff, and I'll just launch it twice, because this one has a bit more grip, because it was a bit more designed for this. I hit a box. And that was a really light launch, I want you to know.
But that was just enough. So actually, okay, I'll replay that and I'll give Legend a bit of a chance because it did have a bit of time between it. That was technically a win on Lunier's part. Yeah, I'm going to give that one to... It only burst way after it had already won. So, okay. A few times by knocking. So Legend's technically out, and we'll fight Odax for third place there. Now we have Wizard, Wizard 00, whatever the hell, W, is this like W or something like that? Whatever the hell C is. And we have Longinus. So there's both left spinning, and they're both hard as hell to launch. Especially with a missed launch like that, but okay, it really didn't seem to affect it that much. Especially since it was long enough for Wizard to kick into reboot. And there has been no contact this entire game. Oh, there was a little bit of a bit there that I just passed up as I was saying that. Are they going to hit each other before they run out of stamina? Once. The killing blow. That was not an entertaining match at all. Alright. Wizard, you get... Okay, I want to show how hard it is for me to get Wizard on the damn launcher. Alright, that was a land on launch technically, but... Yeah, okay, that was a land on launch. That was not really fair for either of them. Did not click, though. So much burst resistance on this because of the way it came packaged. With the Gan weight and all, and Bahamut. I mean, it's my only DGA, so I don't have a reference for how good that is. Oh, and that one goes to Wizard, making it the technical winner. But I'm going to be a bit nice, and I'm going to cement Longinus at second place, because it managed to work its way across all enemies there. But technically, neither of these got a chance to face off against Wizard. Oh, poor Odax, about to be bullied horribly by Wizard. I'm going to give it one hell of a strong launch, and I'll give this also because a pretty strong launch. Oh, that is a knockout win on the Wizard's part, but it's just going to keep bullying Odax because it can. Alright, Odax, you have a second chance. Come on. And come on, you can all do it. You can do it. It's in reboot now. Come on, it's really unstable. Odax, you can't add stamina. Or, you can't out stamina spin stealing Beyblade. Oh, I'm sorry, Odax. And that win. And, yeah. Well. Yeah, that was what was expected. I think it's still technically 1 point left. I'll launch Wizard first this time. Come on, Wizard. That was one of the few times the land on launch wasn't favorable for Beyblade in question. Alright, since that was a land on launch, Odax still has one more shot. Come on. You can do it. I'm rooting for you. Alright, Wizard. Your job is just to lose. Throw the match. Make it interesting. Throw the match. Throw the match. No. No. Odax. Yep, that cemented it. That was the coffin. Technically, Odax can still fight Okay, I'll let the Beyblade that's still intact fight. Okay, no one in hell. There's no one who'd be dumb enough to fight Wizard in Wizard Lair in. That's the wrong way. In right spin mode, because that's just feeding the enemy completely. So we'll go into left spin to give this a remote chance winning. Give Legend Spriggan a remote chance to win. Also, what would be? I would say attack would actually be the best method in the case. In this case, just run away. That is the goal of Legend in this case. Just don't. Yeah, I guess. Would it be? That's a weird. Okay, this is a weird one. This is a weird like. What strategy would you go for? I guess I'll go for defense first. Maybe maybe it could tank the blows some. If I could launch well. The off-brands have such faulty like stuff keeping it in play, and it really okay. That was still not a good launch. Using the cord launcher is equally annoying sometimes, for different reasons. Okay, Wizard's going first, I guess, and let's go Legend. All right, Legend, this is your chance. You could move yourself up. You could get a chance to tie for second place. Actually, I'll say this is for all the marbles. Let's say. Let's be nice. Oh, that's not good for you, Legend. You still have one shot left. You could really. Oh my God, what? That was like a half click on Wizard. That is not what you want to see for a burst result. All right, you're going first, so I can give you a chance to run. Yeah, that's not. There's nothing saving Legend there. Yeah, Wizard kind of is not fair to compete with anything else. People kind of make fun of the Wizard Lair, or don't think it's really that good against other various bays of GT. But that's more a fault of Fafnir not having good teeth, and the fact that they've just really buffed the ability of some of the Beyblades to perform, in my opinion. Like they've made like the Spriggan line has become so amazing from a competitive standpoint that if like I would bet that any sane person would just go to a tournament with that setup. All right, I'm just experimenting with see if there's a change in burst resistance based on how you put the gen weight in. I would say it's probably for like which side you're going. I don't know why it's not both directions, but whatever. I guess it might be for a balancing issue. I mean, it's already kind of balanced having the gen weight because it's so light compared to the other weights. Yeah, that's kind of what you want. And basically makes it a Hasbro Beyblade and how it feels. All right, so that's good. Okay, so that, yeah, obviously Wizard won. But other than that, I would say Legend won. So it was really just this kind of proves that a generation thing, even if you're the best of a generation, doesn't always make you win. Let's try to. Okay, I'm gonna make a bit of a consultant. I'm gonna make a sequel video of this one, remembering these combos, and trying to reverse engineer how to make them terrible.